Appamada and its programs are supported by your generosity, and your generosity and support makes such a difference. You can find a link for contributions on the website at appamada.org. Thank you.
Welcome to the 2023 Head Student Exit Ceremony for John Eric Steinbaumer and Ellen Hippert. During the ceremony, questions will be asked, first by Dharma teachers, followed by head students, then council members, and then others in the assembly. Please stand. Heart of Great Perfect Wisdom Sutra.
Practicing Prajnaparamita, clearly saw that all 5 aggregates are empty and thus relieved all suffering. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself form. Sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked by emptiness. They neither arise nor cease, are neither defiled nor pure, neither increase nor decrease. Therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no sensation, no perception, no formation, no consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no sight, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of mind consciousness. There is neither ignorance nor extinction of ignorance, neither old age and death nor extinction of old age and death. No suffering, no cause, no cessation, no path, no knowledge, and no attainment. With nothing to attain, a bodhisattva relies on Prajnaparamita, and thus the mind is without hindrance. Without hindrance, there is no fear. Far beyond all inverted views, one realizes nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future rely on Prajnaparamita and thereby attain unsurpassed, complete, perfect enlightenment. Therefore, know Prajnaparamita as the great miraculous mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra, which removes all suffering and is true, not false. Therefore, we proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra, the mantra that says, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasangate, Bodhi Swaha.
Joe Shoes, wash your bowls. The case. A monk asked Joshu in all earnestness, I have just entered this monastery. Beg you, master, please give me instructions. Joshu asked, have you eaten your rice gruel yet? The monk answered, yes, I have. Joshu said, then wash your bowls. The monk attained some realization. In the verse, just because it is so clear, it takes us longer to realize it. If you quickly acknowledge that the candlelight is fire, you will find that the rice has long been cooked.
The ultimate path is without difficulty. Xiaoshu, teaching the assembly, said, the ultimate path is without difficulty. Just avoid picking and choosing. As soon as there are words spoken, this is picking and choosing. This is clarity. This old monk does not abide within clarity. Do you still preserve anything or not? At that time, a certain monk asked, since you do not abide within clarity, what do you preserve? Xiaoshu replied, I don't know either. The monk said, since you don't know, teacher, why do you nevertheless say that you do not abide within clarity? Xiaoshu said, it is enough to ask about the matter, bow and withdraw. Say the thing, give it back to her. You'll come back.
This is the Dharma staff, 5 feet long. Once a black snake on Vulture Peak. Kim, you're driving me crazy. I'm sorry, I'll start over again. This is the Dharma staff, 5 feet long. Once a black snake on Vulture Peak, it became the Udambara flower at Shaolin Temple. It burst forth into 5 Zen petals. Sometimes it is a dragon swallowing heaven and earth. Sometimes a Vajra sword. Sometimes the Vajra sword, giving and taking life. This staff, this Dharma staff, is now in my hands. Though just a mosquito biting an iron bull, I cannot give it away. Dragons and elephants. Let us call forth the Dharma. Give me your questions.
Stay there. This is the Dharma staff, 5 feet long. Once a black snake on Vulture Peak, it became the Udambara flower. At Shaolin Temple, it burst. It burst forth the 5 petals of Zen. Sometimes a dragon swallowing heaven and earth. Sometimes a Vajra sword bringing and taking life. This staff is now in my hands. Though just a mosquito biting an iron bull, I cannot give it away. Dragons and elephants, let us call forth the Dharma. Give me your questions.
Now here are the head students.
So in asking the question, come and stand in front of the person that you're asking.
Speak up.
Okay. Yeah. So we learned so much here about practice. And yet we realize at the same time, there's so much strife, so much trouble in the world. How do you deal with that?
Hard. Oh my goodness, what a question. Well, how do I deal with that? I would say that that practice helps me deal with that, helps me cope with that, helps me with maintaining a perspective, gives me a community, which also helps to maintain some perspective. So I guess that's what I have to say on how do I deal with that.
I think Joel is online. He would be next.
Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful ceremony. Thank you for your dedication. If I could come, I would stand in front of John Eric. And just thank you. John Eric. You are taking many steps to strengthen your practice and to dedicate your abilities to helping our Sangha. And you already do a lot to help our Sangha. And I'm so impressed with the way that you bring yourself forward in every meeting that I have with you and that I see. My question is, it's almost impossible for me to formulate right now, I'm sorry. My question is the same as Laurie's to Ellen. In this world where there is so much turmoil, how can you best advise us as members of the Sangha to move forward in our lives?
We've been reading the Bodhisattva's vow each morning. And one of the lines, as you know, is all is the unending manifestation of the awakened one. And sometimes I struggle with that when I think of strife and suffering and cruelty. And I just have to lean into the teachings and each other and the practice to try to allow more space to believe that can be true sometimes. And sometimes I think the unending manifestation can feel terrible.
Okay, former head students have an opportunity to ask questions at this point. Head student Alan. This is a wonderful day.
This is a wonderful day.
It is, yes, thank you.
You and I have spoken quite a bit about the formless field of benefaction and whether benefaction is not an expression of duality. What is your thinking about that today?
Anne, I knew you were going to ask this question. I always don't know that I even yet we've gone over this, and I've really enjoyed this, really over years. You've been discussing this, and I don't know that I have any better answer than I ever have, really. But nonetheless, the question exactly is an expression of duality, right? To call it benefaction is an expression of duality.
And then the coda for that is that dharma?
Is it dharmic?
Is that dharma to say the formless field is one way?
Okay, here's what I'm thinking today. I think we're talking about the relative and the absolute to some extent here. maybe a large extent. And in the relative world, I see the benevolence in you. And we live in both the relative and the absolute. And because I see the relative in you, that transfers for me. And I see it in me, and I see it in everything, a lot of things. And so for me, that transfers to the absolute, to a field of benefaction. So that's how I see it today, but let's continue this discussion.
Ellen,
Kim,
are you better when you perfect the 6 perfections?
say it again, please.
Are you better when you, and if not, why do you do it?
Am I better
When you perfect the 6 perfections?
when I perfect it? Am I better when I perfect the 6
And
perfections?
if not,
And if not,
why do we do it?
why do we do it? Kim. Okay, first, am I better when I perfect the 6 perfections? I would say, I'm not sure it's a matter of better or worse. I think it's a matter of being a little more attuned. And so I would say that if I'm more attuned to the people around me and what's going on and with me and with everything more attuned, then I'm more likely not to cause a problem and more likely to be, a helpful influence in the world. So in that sense, better. And so,
I think you just answered.
did I answer the whole thing? Okay.
So my question's about fatherhood and the Dharma. I feel transported to this place of like a very beautiful non-attachment sometimes when we're reading the Heart Sutra, and even the case that you offered, there's kind of like a light touch somehow. And then fatherhood and being a dad reveals so much attachment. And so it's like the ability to have my heart broken is increased, the ability, like the money is a bigger issue, like I feel like trapped, like in so many ways by sort of the relative world. So as a dad who's been down the path, I'm just wondering about how you hold being a dad, the Dharma, and all that comes with it.
Thank you. I feel like being a dad and seeing your child born is a real gateway into attachment, like I've never felt before, and I still feel. And I'm in this phase of letting our daughter go and come back, and it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. And I think that's the gateway into something deeper.
Letting your heart be wrenched.
Letting your heart be wrenched. These babies, they take your heart and they wrench them for us, whether we want them to or not.
I struggle with, I remember one teaching story, like the Buddha saying, calling his son Rahula, obstacle. Like I know it's just, I get all confused because I know it's enlightening and connecting and feels like an obstacle to something. So, Yeah, so I'm wondering about that, just kind of how I sit with the word obstacle and being kind of like here and caring and everything's a big deal. I can't just, hold the world lightly somehow like I used to.
It's a lot more difficult now.
Yeah.
What does your son's name mean?
Merciful. Merciful ocean.
Merciful ocean.
Maybe it's about that.
It's an honor.
You, as Joel mentioned, and as everybody can see, you do so much for so many.
So they can hear you.
You do so much for so many people, especially in our community. And I'm wondering how you also seem to always keep yourself in the equation. And I've known you for a little while now. And I've seen you really be able to do this. I'm wondering how you do it. What's your internal orientation?
It's been a real part of my practice. It's been an active part of my practice. And I think it came when I started saying to myself, beings are numberless, I vow to freedom, including myself, and not keeping myself outside of the equation because it was keeping me separate. And I feel like I've started to realize that when I free my suffering, I'm freeing the suffering. So I do try to keep myself part of the equation.
Ellen.
Robin.
A few years ago, we had a big pandemic, and among the many people who decided to move to be closer to loved ones was dear you. And yet you have maintained connection from Virginia and are here with us now and have been here with us there. And so my question is, where is the Zendo?
Good question. It was sort of part of the equation and why I moved, to tell you the truth. Let's see how to say this. This is so much my home. I owe everything. I needed to leave home. And that never separated me from you, because I totally feel a part of this and I totally care about everybody here. But there was something about needing to leave home, and I can't exactly explain that. But it was really good for me to get a wider view. And that's all I can say about that. But I really do appreciate the question because it has been a big question for me.
John Eric, I've been studying the way and the history of our ancestors. And it is full of teachers who slap and yell and throw people off boats. You do not do this. account for your rebelliousness.
You and I have struggled on the jujitsu mat a couple times, so we're not without that. I think there are many ways to wake people up. We can choose which one works best for us.
I'm so pleased with how you have embraced being head student and everything that you provided. And I would remember there was a time that you turned away from the potential offer. And for all the people that might be head students someday, I'm wondering what the shift was where you welcomed this opportunity or accepted it, let's say.
Well, there were some outer reasons. There were some logistical reasons. I was in the, when I was first offered the opportunity, I was in the middle of a move. And then the next time it came up as a possibility, there wasn't a way to do it on, because by that time I was living elsewhere and there wasn't really a format for doing it online. So that's the outer circumstances. So I had good excuses, you know. But internally, the first time I did, I also knew I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. And I know you give this little talk. You give this little talk about, no, I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. Well, I mean, I was so seriously not ready. It just seemed like more than just something to say, you know. And then the second time I was terribly disappointed because I did feel I had maybe something to offer. And I felt blocked, like I had something, maybe a little something to offer, but there was no way to offer it. So I found other, maybe this is the answer to your question. I found another pathway and just realized that you can call it whatever you want. I'm just gonna do it, you know. Something like that, and I guess in maturing in that way and decide I'm just going to do it. Doesn't matter if I ever have a title for it or not, something like that. And, so I don't know, that was my pathway, but I'm not sure it would be the same for other people.
So Eric, lately my mind is awash with preferences and thoughts and gobbledygook. How should I relate to all this whirling discursivity?
I relate to your discursivity. It's easy to say the obstacles are the path. I think working with that can be very difficult in its own right. It's a subtle practice, and it can't be tackled all at once. But maybe find one discursive thought or two that feel easy to start to practice with.
Are there any council members that would like to ask questions?
Ellen,
Yeah.
what is the wholehearted way?
Oh my goodness. What is the wholehearted way? Well, first of all, the heart has to be open to be wholehearted. So I would say approaching everyone and everything with an open heart, but that's easy to say. So it's a matter of how do you do that and how do you maintain it? And so all I could say is sitting, a lot of sitting for one thing. And getting it that we're all connected. And as we get it that we're all really so intimately connected, well, for one thing, that's just heart opening in itself. And then you just kind of can't help it. Now, that's not that I do that all the time, but that's sort of how I see the process. Thank you for the question.
Rosemary?
Hi, Ellen. Ellen, when you are struggling, what aspect of your practice do you turn to?
Okay, Rosemary, the question is when I'm struggling, what aspect of practice do I turn to, right? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I think in some way I turn to basic sanity, and I don't know exactly what that has to do with practice, but it does come from practice, I think, that basic sanity. In that when I'm struggling with something, there's some idea that this is just a momentary thing. And also I'd have to say the Sangha so much helps me, and us, and especially you guys online, we interact so much. You've helped me through so many delusions. And so I guess that's what I would say. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Ellen.
I guess that's everyone.
It's in your hand.
And now the verse.
Another one.
Through the support of the teachers and all of you, through the support of the teachers and all of you, I have been the head student.
I'm deeply grateful.
I'm deeply grateful for all of your help. Please forgive my mistakes. They fill heaven and earth, leaving no place to hide. Friends,
Is my actions?
if my actions and words have misled you, please wash your ears in the present, and please wash your ears in the present, and please continue your practice. I will keep on trying.
I wholeheartedly avow my limitations.
I wholeheartedly avow my limitations, but I will keep on trying. I will practice diligently. Thank you very much.
Vertically.
Yes.
I can make comments. Through the support of the teachers and all of you, I've been head student. I am deeply grateful for your help, but I have not been worthy of it. Please forgive me of my mistakes. They fill heaven and earth, leaving me no place to hide. Friends, if I have misled you with my actions or my words, please wash your ears in the pure sound of the present and continue your practice. I deeply avow my limitations, but I will continue. I will practice more diligently. Thank you very much. We can hold on to it. Okay. And I'll hold on to it. And you know.
Well, on behalf of the Sangha, I want to express our gratitude and appreciation for the way you have been such great ambassadors of the Dharma and serve both our online community and our in-person community. And it's very moving to me that we're all together here again to celebrate in this way. It means so much to me. So I'm so grateful for all that you've done, your teaching, your Dharma talks, your one-on-one teas with students. And in this way, really shown the Sangha your maturity in practice and your capacities. So I'm tremendously grateful, and I appreciate so much the way that you've supported the Sangha in so many different ways, not just as head students, but in such a wide variety of ways. And I think the Sangha is so much richer for it. Thank you so much.
And I echo, of course, everything that Peg has said. This is an important time in the life of the Sangha and in the world. And so to take on these roles so wholeheartedly as you have, both in person and online, echoes and reflects back the world that we live in now. And you are able to do that in all the ways that Peg said, that supports the Sangha, it supports your own practice, and encourages other people, which is what the Dharma is meant to be, that encouragement. And returning myself here and meeting you in person, I could feel the sort of flood of goodness that you brought and how that's pervaded the entire Sangha. Thank you for your practice.
So now there's an opportunity for Sangha members to offer congratulations over the head students.
And you can offer those from your seat, just stand up if you want to speak. And that way the online folks can hear a little better.
And if you're online, just raise your hand if you'd like to say something.
I just want to say thank you so much for your practice in keeping the Dharma flame alive.
Ever passionate.
Ellen, John Eric. Oh, congratulations. It's been great to have you here in the Zendo and you online. It's just been delightful to see you. And Ellen, I've been so astonished, but I don't like astonished, impressed with how much you've grown over time and the way you've been doing your Dharma talks have just been absolutely wonderful. And John Eric, your presence here is just wonderful, such an even keel. It makes a big difference here, keeping things calm. So I appreciate you both so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ellen and John Eric, it has just been so invigorating to the Sangha having you as head students. It's just made things lighter and more lively. And you've really done us all a great service by serving us in this way. Really appreciate it.
We have Rosemary online.
Rosemary?
Yes, Ellen, just, it's been wonderful having you as head student. Of course, we connect every Wednesday in Zazen and Share. And I just learned so much from you every time we have our meetings. And thank you for your encouragement of me. John Eric, it's been lovely having you be the facilitator at our daily Zazen and coming and sitting with the online group afterwards just to check in with us, giving us little Dharma prompts to kind of guide our talks. And so thank you so much for that too. It's been lovely. Congratulations, both of you.
Rosemary. Ronaldo?
Oh, Ellen and John Eric, I can't believe it's been almost 5 years now since I met you. I'm almost at my 5-year point of having come to Appamada. And in all of that time, you have modeled the Dharma through the way you live, through the way you respond to things, through the way you interact and share. I love your hearts. Thank you for showing a Buddha heart every time we've interacted. And thank you for your teachings, because you've done it without words and with words. But it's really impactful when you do it through your actions and the lives you live. So thank you for that gift.
Bridget?
Unmute yourself.
There we go. Hello, I want to express gratitude, deep gratitude to Ellen and to John Eric. It's been delightful to hear your Dharma talks and to be in your presence. And my fondest memory was getting to know Ellen a little bit better when we did the walk together after the Florida school shootings, and then getting to know John Eric through attending this class he's giving on a bit better on the introduction to Zen, because I felt like I've missed some of the fundamentals, but I'm so grateful for your presence and your service to our community. And I wish you all the best in your future practice and your presence in our community. With a deep bow.
Lynn?
Hi, I just wanted to tell Ellen and John Eric, thank you so much for the practice session. It was so great getting to know you better, and especially morning zazen. I don't know how you timed it so perfectly. Ellen was in Virginia, walking around her altar there and bowing. At the same time, John Eric was in Austin. It was so deeply moving to watch. Deep gratitude.
Your spiritual friendship, both of you, has just meant so much. And I keep thinking about when Ananda said to Buddha, so spiritual friendship is 50%. And Buddha said, no, it's 100%. And wow, it has been. Thank you.
George?
Thank you. I just am so moved by this ceremony and by what John Eric and Ellen have brought to the community. And I'm just thinking about the idea that Peg and Flint had, that this is going to evolve into a lay-led Sangha. And that means that each of us must be willing to do what we can to help the Sangha. And you have done that thing. Even though it's like a mosquito biting an iron bull, you're willing to take a step forward and hold that staff. And all of us are called to do what we can. And I'm so grateful to you both for stepping forward to take these roles and to offer your beautiful teachings. Thank you.
You know, when I experienced being head student, it was hard to believe I was ready to do that and had anything to offer. And I think that's one of the things that I am most grateful for, is knowing that we all are unique. And what you have to offer, the gifts you have to give everyone, are what no one else can give. And if you hadn't given them, we'd be poor. So thank you for being willing to share yourselves.
We offer the merit of this ceremony for the welfare of all beings everywhere. May all be relieved of suffering, free from fear, longing, aversion, and ignorance. And may we, together with all beings, realize the awakened way.
The Bodhisattva vows.
Beings numberless, I vow to freedom. Delusions are inexhaustible, I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless, I vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable, I vow to embody it. Beings are numberless, we vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible, we vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless, we vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable, we vow to embody it. Beings are numberless, this vow frees them all. Delusions are inexhaustible, this vow ends them all. Dharma gates are boundless, this vow enters them all. Buddha's way is unsurpassable, this vow embodies it.
There will be refreshments in the rear room, and we would like everyone to assemble by the back steps for a picture.